So a long time ago, I sat down with a notebook, and I was trying to contemplate and think and figure out how it is that I want to help, what it is that I want to do, how I want to help, and what kind of impact I want to have. And I was thinking about what I can bring forward and what the world might need. And I just found this again, and I just want to share that with you. I believe that if these things improve in our lives, the impact is incredible. And it sounds, I've always felt, and it sounds like it's so selfish, right? Self-worth and self-compassion and self-acceptance and self-love. But one thing that I've realized and I've experienced and I've seen in other people is that it is actually the least selfish thing we can do. With self-acceptance, the more then I can accept the things that I've disliked about me my entire life, the more that I can welcome those parts of me that I might not be the most proud of, or I might not be the most excited about, the easier it is for me to accept that in others and not judge as much. I've had a very hard time throughout my life with judgment. I used to be very judgmental, and at times that's still there. Not because I want to. That's just where my mind goes to right away. So if I can realize that, if I can see from a different way, and if I can accept myself at a much deeper level, the term self-acceptance might sound selfish, but it is one of the most loving things I can do for other people. I've seen this in my own life. The more people I help and talk to, I realize that the more these things develop within ourselves, the more every relationship in our life will improve. And I can't say will as a guarantee. There's no guarantees in life. But I can clearly see the shifts in my life. My relationships with my family, friends, other people, just things start to shift. The same self-compassion. I talked about judgment. I am going to judge myself inevitably. Like, that's gonna come up. I say something and I think it's silly. I do something and I wonder, why the hell did I do that? I'm very awkward in public. Like I'm very awkward socially, and I'm very hard on myself because of that. I used to hate that about myself through high school and college and even after that. And there are times that I still hate that about myself. So when that judgment comes up right away, now because of the self-compassion, I can look at it from a different point of view, and I can realize, wow, like, I don't want to continue to judge myself in this harsh way, in such a... It's painful. It's painful to be deep in that hole of, like, feeling like everything you do is wrong, everything you say is wrong, everything you did could have been done better. And because I was so harsh on myself, I started being very harsh on other people. And the more I can be compassionate towards myself, the less harsh I've been on other people, and the more compassionate I can be towards other people. So it sounds selfish because it's self-compassion, but of course it's going to trickle down to other people. Of course you fill your own cup with all these things, and then stuff overflows, and it's inevitable to be that way to other people. Let me see what else I wrote down. Self-worth. That's one of the most beautiful gifts we can give to other people. I've been insecure my whole life, and I still am. And people sometimes, I've gotten comments that people think I'm very confident because of my videos, but I'm still insecure. I still have times where I see a girl that I like and I can't even go up and talk to her. Or I'm hanging out with a girl that I like, but I can't let her know and show her that I like her. And there's people that I want to help and I want to coach, but there's a part of me that doesn't feel like I'm ready and like I have what it takes, so I don't feel worthy. I don't feel worthy when it comes to money. I don't feel worthy when it comes to relationships. I don't feel worthy in many areas of life. So me working on my self-worth, we are mirrors to other people. We allow them to see themselves in us. People that know that I've been that I've had low self-esteem my whole life, and now see my journey and see my growth, they can be inspired and realize that, like, wow, like, we can all get there. We can all feel worthy. We can all feel great about ourselves. We can realize what a gift we are to other people, what a blessing we are to everyone in our lives. And I believe that the more self-worth from a heart-centered place, of course there's the narcissistic end of that spectrum, but when you are a heart-centered person, when you're coming from that place, when your intention is good, when your intention is to be loving and helpful to other people, the more we develop self-worth, the more that's going to help others. Of course it will. So the same thing, is not selfish. It sounds selfish, but it's not. Then forgiveness. Oh my God, I could talk for hours about this one. I've had to forgive myself first. And I'll talk more about that in other videos. Otherwise, this is going to be very long. But at the same time, balancing that aspect of forgiveness is like, we're not going to let people walk all over us and treat us like shit. But if they do, I now see from a whole different, I don't have to force forgiveness, which is what a lot of us try to do and what I've tried to do in the past. Now forgiveness is such a natural thing for me. Not all the time, not the easiest thing in the world, but it's way more natural for me to be able to forgive people. Because I know where it's coming from. Hurt people hurt people. So if they're hurting me, it's because they've been hurt in the past. And they're just repeating that pattern because they haven't been able to heal that. So I now have compassion for that. See how it's all connected? The forgiveness and the compassion. So because I have self-compassion, I can be compassionate to them as well now. So forgiveness is huge as well. I've thought of actually doing like a whole little like program on forgiveness. And then self-love, of course, I don't think I have to actually explain that one. The more I can love myself, the easier and more natural it is to love other people. If I'm nicer to myself, I can be nicer to other people. If I'm compassionate to myself, I can be compassionate to other people. If I love myself a little more, doesn't mean unconditional love. We all try to head in that direction, but it's not easy. Is it even attainable as a human being to be unconditionally loving 100% of the time? I don't know. I don't know. But we don't need to beat ourselves up because we feel like we're so far away from unconditional love. But if I can love myself a little deeper and show myself that love and appreciation that maybe I felt like I lacked in the past, maybe I feel like I didn't get or I'm not getting from other people, which is a beautiful opportunity to give that to ourselves, because that should come first, in my opinion and experience. I don't know. But if you think about all these things, I do believe that these are incredible when it comes to our happiness, our fulfillment. We working on ourselves in a very beautiful, gentle, loving way, so that then it affects everyone around us. That's how we change the world, in my opinion. Hope that helps. I'm gonna end it here. Have a beautiful day.